Look closely in the mirror. That thin texture, that constant irritated redness that won't go away, it's not just aging. You have spent a fortune on high-end creams, expecting a miracle. Yet instead of looking younger, your skin feels rawer, tighter, and completely ignores the promise on the jar. Here is the brutal truth. Those miracle luxury creams, many are actively destroying your skin barrier. That instant glow you see isn't health, it is inflammation. It is your skin reacting to harsh overstimulation. When you are over 70, your barrier is already delicate. These products don't rebuild it, they strip it down, leaving you more vulnerable than before. You are paying to damage your face. Stop blaming yourself. You did everything right. You trusted the labels. You deserved the result. Calm, resilient, confident skin. The industry failed you, not the other way around. Today we expose what companies hide. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to arm you with the truth. We are going to protect your skin's future, starting right now. In this video, I will reveal 4 specific anti-aging cream types that are actively thinning your skin. Then we swap them for affordable, gentle powerhouses that actually work. These ingredients hydrate, support, and physically thicken aging skin over time. You will finally get the results you paid for. Stay with me until the end. Your routine may only need one small change to make a dramatic difference. And before we continue, if staying healthy, independent, and radiant matters to you, make sure to subscribe to Senior Health Guard. We share practical, science-based guidance designed specifically for older women. Also, leave a short comment for me below. Tell me where you're watching from and the most expensive anti-aging cream you've ever tried. I want to see how many of us have chased these promises together. Cream number 1, high-strength retinol and why it thins skin after 70. Let's begin with the first cream you truly need to approach with extreme caution. It is the one jar almost everyone believes is the undisputed gold standard of anti-aging. I am talking about retinol, the famous miracle ingredient. It has been praised for decades for its powerful ability to smooth deep wrinkles and stimulate fresh collagen. And for younger women, especially those in their 30s or 40s, that reputation is absolutely well-deserved. But listen closely. Once you reach your late 60s or 70s, your skin plays by an entirely different set of rules. The very mechanism that makes retinol a hero for young skin transforms into a dangerous aggressor for mature, thinning textures. Here is the simple, honest science behind it, explained exactly the way I would explain it to a patient sitting right in front of me. Retinol fundamentally works by speeding up your skin's cell turnover. It commands the surface layer to shed aggressively so that fresher, newer cells can rise to the top. For younger skin, this results in a smoother texture and radiance because the deeper layers are sturdy enough to support that stress. But a clinical overview in dermatoendocrinology confirms that your collagen declines steadily year after year and becomes dramatically reduced in later adulthood, leading to visible thinning and reduced elasticity. When you apply high-strength retinol to that delicate surface, you are pushing it to shed faster than it can physically handle. Instead of renewal, it becomes over-exfoliation. Think of sanding a piece of antique wood that is already paper-thin. You are not refining the surface anymore. You are simply wearing it away into nothing. When this aggressive stripping happens, the skin begins to lose moisture rapidly. Dermatologists call this transepidermal water loss, but you know it as that tight, parched feeling that no amount of cream seems to fix. The problem isn't your moisturizer. It's a broken barrier that can no longer seal in hydration. Retinol also dissolves natural lipids, the essential fats that act as the glue holding your skin cells together. When these lipids weaken, the barrier becomes patchy and fragile. That is when redness appears, irritation, stinging, even tiny bumps. Do not call these signs purging. They are your skin's way of screaming, "I'm overwhelmed." Worse, the deeper issue is inflammation. Chronic irritation breaks down collagen even faster, accelerating the very aging process you have been desperately trying to stop. So what is the safest strategy after 70? It is not about abandoning retinol altogether. It is about respecting the fragility of your changing skin. Look for very low concentrations, around 0.25%, and strictly limit use to just 2 or 3 nights a week. Better yet, consider bakuchiol, a gentle plant-based option proven to support firmness and smoothness without forcing the skin to shed aggressively. Now, before we move to the second type of cream, the one many older women love without realizing how irritating it acts, share something short with me in the comments. Have you ever used retinol, and where are you watching from today? Your experience helps the entire community. Up next is a surprising category, products that smell wonderful but quietly inflame mature skin every single day. Cream number 2, fragranced luxury, moisturizers, and the hidden inflammation they create. Let's move on to the second type of cream that acts as a silent saboteur for women over 70. I am talking about those heavily scented, high-end luxury moisturizers. You know the ones I'm talking about. They come in those elegant glass jars, wrapped in gold lettering, promising indulgence and self-care. They glide beautifully across the skin, they feel rich on your fingertips, and the scent, roses, lavender, jasmine, musk, makes the experience feel special. It feels like you're treating yourself to something luxurious, something you've earned after a lifetime of taking care of everyone else. But here's the important truth. For mature skin, those beautiful fragrances carry unnecessary risks. To create that signature scent, companies use blends of essential oils and synthetic fragrance compounds. And while these ingredients may smell wonderful, many of them are well-known irritants and common causes of allergic reactions, especially in older adults. As we age, our skin changes in ways most people don't fully realize. The immune system becomes more sensitive. The skin barrier weakens. The natural oils that once protected the skin become less abundant. This means reactions that never happened at age 40 can suddenly appear at age 70. You may not feel a sting or see a rash right away. But deeply within the skin, fragrance molecules can trigger low-grade inflammation. The signs are subtle: skin that always looks a little dull, a pinkish tone that never disappears, dry patches that show up no matter how much moisturizer you use. These signs are easy to blame on just aging, but they often come from silent irritation. And inflammation is one of the fastest ways mature skin loses collagen. A recent major review in Cell Death and Disease demonstrates that chronic inflammation destroys the key structural proteins in the dermis, essentially dissolving your collagen reserves and accelerating visible aging far faster than nature intended. So, when fragrance sends inflammatory signals into the skin day after day, you're essentially speeding up the aging process without even realizing it. Many older women even report a mild burning or itching sensation shortly after applying these creams. But because the product was expensive, they push through it, assuming that means it's working. It's not working. It's irritating. When you see that gorgeous rose-scented jar on your vanity, imagine the hidden inflammation beneath the surface that no one talks about. This type of irritation is one of the most common contributors to contact dermatitis in seniors. Here's the simple fix. Look for products labeled fragrance-free, not unscented. Unscented only means the scent is masked, not removed. Mature skin doesn't need perfume. It needs protection, moisture, and calm. Your skin has no nose. It doesn't care what your cream smells like. It cares how your barrier feels. Before we move to the third cream on our list, leave a short comment for me below. Do you prefer scented or fragrance-free skincare? And where are you watching from today? Your insight helps this whole community. Up next, we're stepping into a powerful but risky category: exfoliating acids that can thin the skin faster than age itself when used incorrectly. Cream number 3, high-strength AHI BRHA acids and the hidden damage they create. Now let's move into the third category of creams and treatments you should be cautious with, and this one often overlaps with the first two. We're talking about high-strength chemical peels and exfoliating acids, products that contain powerful alpha-hydroxy acids, AHAs, like glycolic acid, or beta-hydroxy acids, BHAs, like salicylic acid. These acids can truly transform the skin when used correctly. They resurface the top layer, smooth texture, brighten dullness, and restore radiance. For a 30 or 40-year-old with sun damage or congestion, they're incredibly effective. But once you cross into your 70s, the story changes completely. Let me explain it clearly and gently, like I would in my clinic. Glycolic acid works by dissolving the bonds that hold dead skin cells together. It pushes them to shed quickly, revealing new cells beneath. But that resurfacing power is also what makes it too aggressive for older skin. After 70, your skin's natural renewal cycle slows dramatically, and the barrier becomes thinner. The protective acid mantle and lipid layer, which keep moisture in and irritants out, no longer bounce back the way they once did. To show you how this plays out in real life, let me share a short story. Evelyn, a 73-year-old retired teacher from San Diego, came to see me a few months ago. She had been using a 10% glycolic acid toner every night because she'd read that it keeps the skin glowing. At first, she saw exactly that, a bright flush, a smooth texture. But after a few weeks, she began noticing persistent redness across her cheeks and temples. Her makeup stopped sitting well. She felt tightness even after applying moisturizer, and the tiny blood vessels beneath her skin started to become more visible. She thought she was just aging faster, but it wasn't age, it was overexfoliation. And this is something I see often. Younger women can use daily acids and recover quickly because their barriers regenerate efficiently. Seniors cannot. When the barrier is repeatedly stripped, moisture escapes, inflammation rises, and the deeper layers weaken. When you see that immediate glow after applying an acid product, what you're really seeing is a short-term inflammatory response. The skin swells slightly as it tries to repair itself, giving the illusion of plumpness. But underneath, dermatologists sometimes call what's happening subclinical trauma, microscopic damage you cannot see, but which accumulates over time. A study in the Journal of Dermatological Science explains that repeated barrier disruption increases inflammation and heightens sensitivity in aging skin. Over months or years, this leads to fragile, paper-thin skin, more visible capillaries, persistent redness, and dryness that never seems to go away. And many women assume it's just part of getting older, but often it's the result of too much exfoliation, too often, with formulas that are too strong for their age. So what's the better path forward? Swap harsh acids for gentle alternatives. Look for enzyme-based exfoliants, which use fruit-derived enzymes to digest only the loose dead skin cells without disturbing the deeper barrier. Or choose very low concentrations of lactic acid, which is naturally humectant and friendlier to mature dry skin. And keep exfoliation to once a week, because with aging skin, less truly becomes more. These first three categories open the door to something important. Your skin after 70 needs support, not stress. And the final cream on our list shows exactly why that matters. Cream number 4. Why thick, heavy creams can work against your skin after 70. Now let's talk about the fourth and final type of cream you should be cautious with. One that surprises many women because it's often sold as the solution to dryness. I'm talking about those thick, heavy, ultra-rich creams that feel luxurious, buttery, and deeply comforting the moment they touch your skin. The kind that comes in elegant jars, promises intense overnight repair, and makes you feel like you're treating yourself to something truly special. But here's the gentle truth. For women over 70, many of these dense, occlusive creams can create more problems than they solve. Not because they are bad, but because mature skin behaves differently, and heavy occlusion can interfere with the way your skin naturally repairs itself. Let me explain why, in the same way I'd explain it to a patient in my office. A large number of ultra-rich creams rely on occlusive ingredients, substances that create a thick, airtight seal over your skin. Common examples include certain mineral oils, heavy petroleum derivatives, dense synthetic waxes, and rich butters. Occlusives can be very helpful when used correctly. They lock moisture in and prevent water loss. But when the cream is too heavy, it does the opposite of what you want. Instead of nurturing the skin, it traps everything underneath: sweat, oil, dead cells, and debris. And even if you no longer experience acne, clogged pores still matter. They disrupt the natural ecosystem of the skin and lead to buildup under the surface. In mature skin, this often shows up not as pimples, but as tiny hard bumps called milia, small cysts formed when keratin gets trapped beneath the skin. Let me share one story that captures this perfectly. A woman named Helen, 74, from Halifax, told me she started using a luxury night cream during the winter to help with dryness. It felt wonderful at first, rich, velvety, comforting. But after a few weeks, her skin looked duller, not brighter. She noticed tiny white bumps forming around her eyes and temples. And every morning her cheeks felt greasy but still looked dry. She described it perfectly. "It feels like the cream is sitting on top of my skin, not going in." And she was right. The cream wasn't hydrating, it was smothering. Here's what was happening beneath the surface. Your skin repairs itself most actively at night. It sheds old cells, regenerates new ones, and strengthens the barrier. But when you apply an ultra-thick, occlusive cream, that natural process slows down. The skin struggles to shed dead cells. Nutrients from your other products can't penetrate well. And instead of waking up with softness and glow, you wake up with congestion, heaviness, and a dull film on the surface. It's a bit like trying to sleep under a blanket so heavy you can't move or breathe comfortably. Your skin feels weighed down instead of supported. So what should you use instead? The key is to nourish the barrier, not suffocate it. And that's where three gentle, scientifically supported ingredients come in: ceramides, hyaluronic acid, and glycerin. Ceramides are lipids that act like mortar between the bricks of your skin barrier. As you age, ceramide levels decline dramatically, one of the main reasons your skin becomes dry and fragile. Using a ceramide-rich moisturizer helps restore that mortar, keeping the barrier intact and strong. Hyaluronic acid is a humectant that draws water into the skin. Instead of sealing the surface, it brings hydration into the upper layers, helping your skin look plumper and smoother. One molecule can bind up to 1,000 times its weight in water, making it one of the gentlest and most effective hydration tools available. Glycerin is another humectant, simple, affordable, and incredibly effective. It works beautifully alongside hyaluronic acid to attract moisture and keep the surface soft, flexible, and well-balanced. The combination of ceramides, hyaluronic acid, and glycerin supports the skin's natural rhythms. It hydrates without clogging, it strengthens without suffocating, and it gives mature skin exactly what it needs: protection, balance, and freedom to repair itself. So instead of reaching for the thickest cream on the shelf, reach for the most supportive one. Your skin after 70 doesn't need heaviness. It needs harmony. It needs ingredients that work with your biology, not against it. A lighter, smarter, fragrance-free cream is often far more powerful than a $300 jar of dense occlusive butter. Because aging gracefully isn't about more, it's about choosing what truly nourishes your skin. Recap, reassurance, and your next steps for healthier skin after 70. Let's bring everything together in one clear moment. You've just learned the 4 types of creams that often work against mature skin, and the simple alternatives that truly support your skin after 70. Avoid high-strength retinol, especially formulas over 0.5% or 1%. Instead, choose low-strength versions or bakuchiol and use them only a few nights per week. Avoid heavily scented luxury creams. Choose products labeled fragrance-free, not unscented. Avoid strong chemical peels or high-percentage glycolic and salicylic acids. Your skin does far better with gentle lactic acid or enzyme exfoliants once a week. And avoid ultra-thick occlusive creams that clog pores and suffocate your barrier. Look for moisturizers rich in ceramides, hyaluronic acid, and glycerin, ingredients that replenish what your skin naturally loses with age. These gentle shifts may seem small, but they create a powerful ripple effect. For decades, many women were taught that the strongest products deliver the best results. That burning means it's working. That intensity equals improvement. But for mature skin, the opposite is true. Calmness heals, gentleness strengthens, consistency restores. And here's something every woman over 70 deserves to hear. You're not behind, you're not late, and you're certainly not alone. Aging can feel emotional. The fear of looking older, the changes happening faster than expected, the uncertainty about which products to trust. But your skin is always trying to repair itself. All it needs is a kinder approach, not a harsher one. Growing older is inevitable. Growing fragile is not. With smarter habits, your skin can stay radiant, comfortable, and beautifully alive. Every thoughtful choice you make now adds strength, moisture, and confidence back into your daily life. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 4 cream categories surprised you most? And where are you watching from today? Your voice helps this whole community learn together. If this video brought clarity or comfort, please like, share, and subscribe to Senior Health Guard so you never miss new senior-focused health insights. Your support truly keeps this community growing. And when you're ready, your next video is waiting, a gentle guide to rebuilding your skin barrier step by step without irritation. I'll meet you there.